Assalamu alaikum. My name is Naki Heather. I'm here today in one of the largest processions in the United States commemorating the sacrifice of Imam Hussain and the events that occurred in Karbala. We have people coming here today from all over the United States to remember the tragedy that betook the family of the Prophet, and Stand with Dignity is doing an excellent job of taking the message of Imam Hussain to a broader audience. It is a message for everybody in any corner of the world where there are people that are oppressed, people that are facing injustice, people who seek freedom. The message of Imam Hussain speaks to them. And today, in the streets of New York, we come as a community from all over the United States, from every major city, to remember the sacrifice Imam Hussain made in Karbala almost 1400 years ago, to stand up for what is right, to stand up for truth, to speak for justice, and to continue with the message of Islam, to bring that to the masses. And today in New York City, where we have people from all walks of life, every corner of the world, there are more people here from different parts of the world than any place else. We bring the message of Imam Hussain, and we try to bring that to the broader community. And Stand with Dignity is doing a great job, and if you haven't checked out their website, you should check it out. And thank you so much for your time.
Hussain recognizes that for this message to remain.
We are all gathered here to commemorate the sacrifice of the Imam Hussain, just like every year.
These principles will be principles which will be part and parcel.
We are all gathered here to commemorate the sacrifice of the Imam Hussain, just like every single year. Thank you.
So Imam Hussain, that's a name, it's very unique because even after 1400 years, you will never find a personality which evokes this kind of grief and feeling of respect for, like after 1400 years, for an event which happened. And people who know him and understand him to some extent they just the name brings tears to your eyes, and that's very unique with this name, Hussain. For me, being from the media and the film industry, I don't even consider I'm worth taking his name, but I just try to go back into the seed of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Abraham had two sons, Ishmael and Isaac, and for me what was interesting was the lineage of Isaac, according to Muslims, goes to Prophet Jesus sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Prophet Jesus is born without a father from a mother. So the lineage from Abraham goes to Isaac and goes to Maryam, which is the Holy Lady Mary, and goes to Jesus, who is in the eyes of Islam still alive and in the eyes of Christianity still alive. And the lineage of Ishmael goes to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And his daughter, Fatima, Salamullah alayhi, she has her children, out of which one is Hussain. And the lineage carries forward to the 12th Imam, which is the Mahdi. And he is alive according to Shia theology and belief. So you have the two seeds of Ishmael and Isaac who are still alive, and they too will come together before the day of resurrection, and that is the whole circle. So for me that was very something which just intrigued me, just amazed me. And so Imam Hussain, what he stood for, and even in today it's so valid. It's a voice against oppression, a voice against injustice, a voice which says death of dignity is better than a life of dishonor. And so he like I don't know, I can't explain what this is all about, but this is a man who today, after 1400 years, brings out a sense of pride from the greatest of leaders, like even Mahatma Gandhi, or you look at I think who was the other British philosopher, writer. They all have spoken Yeah, and so they've spoken, they've read about him, and I don't know the name, I can't just recall as of my head right now, but But Imam Hussain is something to take inspiration from. He crosses faith, he crosses religion, he crosses race. I think it's a personality which says you give everything you have to stand up for what you believe in. And by everything, you mean everything. I mean, you wouldn't give up your 6-month-old child or your brother or your son or the women in your family, and you know what they're going to undergo. And you stand there. See, it's very easy. For me, what moved me was it's very easy to stand and say, okay, I'm going to die first. I'm going to give my life. What's the most difficult part is I'm going to stand here. I'm going to watch one by one the people who are closest to me die, and I bring their bodies back. And you do that from morning to evening with 71 bodies. And that is, nobody in history has shown this kind of courage and patience ever. Everybody says, take me first. Nobody says, take my 71. And then in the end, he said, you still have a chance for forgiveness if you understand what I'm all about. So I think the message of Hussain and the courage and valor and the patience, you cannot find an example anywhere in history. And I'm talking in a very legit way. It's a comparative study. Nobody has ever done this in history. So I think Hussain is somebody to look up to today and fight the forces of injustice and oppression in the world, of what they stand for. And in the name of Hussain, if you can come under this flag, devoid of religion, devoid of, like I said, race, creed, color, if you can come together under this flag and rise up, raise your voices against whatever's happening in the world as injustice and oppression, I think it would be a service to humanity. So, yeah, Hussain, come together.
We're out here today in the city giving out roses for people so that they can understand the message. You know, Imam Hussain sacrificed so much for us, and that is why we're all here mourning for him. And, you know, we're giving out these roses so people can understand how much he has sacrificed and how peaceful this religion is. A lot of people, you know, are taking the message the wrong way. As I'm standing here, I'm trying to give this out to a lot of the Americans. They seem a little bit paranoid, and it's, you know, sad, but you know, it's really nice once you sit down and read about our religion and find out what a peaceful religion it is and how much Imam Hussain has sacrificed for all of us. That is why we're all here today, you know, mourning him.
The message of Imam Hussain is probably the most important and forceful message in the history of mankind. Yet it remains largely untold. It is incumbent upon all of us who know the history of what Imam Hussain did. His sacrifice, which, as I said, is one of the greatest sacrifices in the history of mankind, must be told, and I compliment Muslims for Peace for doing this. Thank you.
So we're here today to commemorate Imam Hussain. He was the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, and the stance that Imam Hussain took and the legacy he left behind were firmly rooted in ideas of justice and patience, struggle and selflessness. And as I got older, these ideas started to manifest throughout various aspects of my life, and this is when I truly formed a meaningful connection with Imam Hussain. So when it came time to submit to the tyrant who stood for dishonesty and corruption, Hussain would not submit. And this very action of his is enough to show us that when given the choice to stand for your principles and give your life or submit to corruption and save yourselves, we should choose the former. After all, it is Imam Hussain who said, "It is better to die on your feet than to live on your knees." And this is why the organization Stand with Dignity was created in the first place, to show the world that Imam Hussain isn't just for Shias, but it's for all of humanity. Anyone who can relate with ideas of patience and justice can relate to Imam Hussain.
To me because I am from Iraq and I want to go every year, but I am unable to. So coming here and walking and remembering Imam Hussain and how important he is to us makes me feel connected to Iraq, even though I'm not there. Imam Hussain is for everybody, and his stories are used by many people, including Gandhi and many well-known people that changed the world, and he will continue to change the world many, many years from now, and his message and story will live on.
Today we are here in New York City, and we are commemorating the martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad. He stood up for the rights of the humankind. He fought against injustice. Truth, justice, humanity were his models that he stood up for. And we have Stand with Dignity truck right here. We commemorate Imam Hussain. The reason is because he taught us how to achieve victory after even being oppressed. So a lot of world leaders like Mahatma Gandhi followed in the steps of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. When Mahatma Gandhi did his salt march, he took only 72 people with him because he believed in the power of Imam Hussain. He believed in the message of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So we all believe in the message of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and we upheld the human message of peace, love and dignity for every human being, not just Muslims. That's why we love and commemorate Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Thank you.
I'm here to represent the community, the Shia community. I need the people to understand that this isn't just a story in history. This is a way of life. People need to understand what we're representing and apply it. Anyone who hears Imam Hussein's story and the love that he had for his family, even for strangers, will feel empowered and ultimately feel the need to give back. From Imam Hussain, I learned that there is always goodness in giving, no matter how little.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Zena. This is Amina.
I'm Amina.
And this is Anam. And today we are here in New York for the 2019 Julus, which commemorates Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain was second Imam who died courageously in battle. His sacrifice, although is very major, is not well known by people. So Julus is a way for us to show our religion, especially Shia Islam, which is it's a minority, right? So this way we show our religion and express to the world what we're doing and why Imam Hussein's sacrifice was so important, although not that many people know about it. Which is unfortunate because the story of Imam Hussain is very much like the Holocaust, but the Holocaust is given so much more, like people learn about it in university and like at school, but the story of Imam Hussain is not that well known. So we take it upon ourselves, like this is not written in our religion that you must go out in the streets and do this in order to, pray and all that.
Every single person you see here today is here for the love of Imam Hussain.
Yeah, they're not forced to be here. None of us were forced to come. We want to be here because of Imam Hussain.
We want to spread his love, we want to spread his message.
So the reason I'm here is to spread the message of Imam Hussain. And if you're unfamiliar with who that is, He's a personality in the Shiite Muslim religion who wanted to spread the message of peace, fighting back oppression, and maintaining his religion through peaceful protest. Although his life was taken, his message still lives on. We are here in Manhattan, in Park Avenue, one of an historic street in Manhattan, keeping his message alive. 1400 years ago, his message was cemented, and today we are spreading that word amongst everyone. We have people on the streets asking us what's going on, and it's like, my pleasure to tell them, because a lot of people don't know, and that's our purpose for today.
Babek Ya Hussain.